Hello and welcome to asynchronous number 5. Today we're doing Unit 10, Lesson 6 in the workbook, pages 72 and 73. So let's get started. So our first exercise is language practice. Complete these sentences with the correct word. There are 2 extra words. This means we're not going to use them all. So here we have 4 sentences from A to D, and we have 6 adjectives. So here we have light, alive, asleep. Okay, so adjectives starting with A, and we have burning, similar, and sleeping. So let's see the first example, or the first sentence says, the dark night was illuminated by the, and then we have space, then logs at the center of the clearing. So here we have dark and we have illuminated, which means light, and then we have logs. So here we have, yes, which one can we choose here? Yes, very good. So we're going to choose the adjective burning. And why is that? Because it is followed by logs, which is a noun. Remember, we said that adjectives starting with A are not followed by nouns. So the second one says B, he was exhausted and his eyelids looked heavy. So exhausted and yes, um, his eyelids looked heavy, so it means he wants to, yes, to sleep. Despite my best efforts, I couldn't stop him from, yes, sleeping. Very good. The next one, C, he's a very famous man and always seems to be wearing the same clothes. That's not true, though. He just owns many things. So if they're not the same, okay, they are very good, similar, yes. And the last one we have, so we have burning, and we have sleeping, and we have similar. So we have 3 to choose from. Now, D, police reports say that it was a freak accident and a marvel that everyone involved was still. So it is a very dangerous and difficult accident, and it is a marvel. So everyone still after the accident. Yes, very good. And the last one would be alive. All right. So we're not going to use sleep or alight. All right. Let's move on to the second exercise, number 2. And it says here, replace the underlined words with the correct form of the phrasal verbs from the box to make complete sentences. And there is one extra phrasal verb, so there's one we're not going to use. So here we have come out, come up against, come in handy, get away, come to an end, come forward, come away, and come after. So all we need to do is to change or replace the underlined verbs with one of those verbs. All right, so number 1 says, A, the robber thought he had escaped unnoticed and was surprised to see the police chasing him. So here we have escape and chase. Yes, so which one from the box? All right, so here we have escaped. We can say got away, it's the same meaning, and chase to come after. So now we have to come after, all right, and get away. Very good. Let's do the second one, B. Despite the importance of the task, few people volunteered to help. So we need a verb that means volunteer, all right? Okay, so it is came forward, all right? And here notice that I use the correct form of the phrasal verb. So this means I'm going to change here come forward into came forward, all right? And this one we used as well. Let's move on to the next one. C, don't throw that away. You never know. It might be useful someday. So we have a phrasal verb with the same meaning. Excellent. Yes, to come in handy. To come in handy, it means this, and to be useful. And here we just leave it because here we have might, so the correct form would be in the infinitive come. All right, very good so far. The next one, D, the novel was released recently to critical success, despite the author being faced with some problems whilst writing. So here we have was released. So yes, which one of those means to release? All right. Yes, of course. So it's came out. So we have come out. We're going to change into came in the past. And then being faced with, it's like coming up against. So again, we're going to remove this. Now the last one, E, I'd had such a great time that I was really upset when my holiday finished. So we have the word or the verb finished, of course, yes, to come to an end, and this is past. I'm going to change it into came to an end, right? Very good, everyone. You're doing great so far. So let's move on to the next exercise, number 3. Number 3 says, give one word synonym. So here I need a synonym or another meaning of the word, another word with the same meaning for the following definitions. All right, so here, this is based on the vocabulary that you've been taught in the lesson. So here, extreme, tiredness, extreme tiredness. We have a word for that. Absolutely, yes, it is fatigue. And the second one says the best part or moment. All right, so of course, yes, so it's highlight, highlight. And the next one, C, the top of the mountain. Remember the highest part of the mountain? Yes, what we call it? Exactly. Summit. Yes, the summit. The next one, D, go up or climb. Actually, we have so many words for that meaning. We have climb, we have, yes, ascend, and you had also clambered, and yes, so this is, or these words are synonyms. So ascend here is a synonym of go up or climb. And the last one, E, full of danger and risk. So it is risky and dangerous. We have a word for that, and it starts with P. Yes, it is. You guessed it right. It's perilous. All right. So now we have synonyms. Um, Now, I want you to pay special attention here. In your reading comprehension question, you have a question like this. One of the questions, you have the same meaning or synonym from the passage, so you need to just get to know what is needed in that question. All right, let's move on to exercise number 4. It says here, these are 3 sentences that need us to respond or what we call language functions. So it says, what would you say in the following situations? And remember to write complete sentences. So let's get to understand these situations. The first one, a friend wants to start an extreme sport, and you think it is too dangerous. So here it is a negative opinion or idea, and you want to warn your friend here. So you can say, of course, something like this: I think that's too dangerous. I'm worried you'll get hurt. All right. The next one, B, you are hiking and one of your companions or friends falls and injures himself or herself. So we have a situation here, and you need to act quickly. So we can call, for example, or shout for help, ask for help. Like you can say, quick, someone call mountain rescue or rangers so that they can rescue your friend. The last one, C, says you want to start an extreme sport. Now, notice here it's you this time, not your friend, and but your parents don't think you should. So here I need to convince my parents. All right, so your parents. So what would you say? You are going to make them feel okay about it. So you can say something like, it's really not that dangerous, and you can say, I'm well prepared for this, or anything of similar meaning. All right, very good. Let's move on to the next exercise. So the next exercise, number 5, says complete the missing parts of the dialogue. Here we have a dialogue. Actually, I'm not going to have a dialogue in your exam, but it helps you to understand how the language works. So with your own sentences here, make sure the conversation makes sense. So it has a meaning and it's logic. So what are you doing this weekend? He says, the other person, wow, that sounds amazing, but isn't it dangerous? So I need to find something here that is dangerous. We can say, for example, I'm going snowboarding with some friends. Then you need to respond to this question, isn't it dangerous? All right, so here we have, okay, still, even if it's safe. So let's say, for example, no, it's really safe as long as you take proper precautions. So you can say this one, and the still, even if it's safe, I think I'd be scared. Here he moved to talk about himself and how scared or afraid he is. So here it's he said something, and then he said, "You're right." So you can say, "Yeah, I get scared sometimes, but that's part of the fun." He said, you're right. Okay, maybe I can come too. This is a request for joining the adventure. And of course, you can respond to the second person as sure. It would be really nice if you did. And this is the completion of the conversation. All right. Let's move on to the next exercise, number 6 here. It says, read the following sentences are the underlined verbs. Here again, we have he, for example, has been revising. This is underlined. Correct. So we need to tick correct or incorrect and in the box and rewrite. If we have something incorrect, rewrite the incorrect sentences. So if we have something that is incorrect, we're going to rewrite it. So the first one says, Omar passed all his exams. He has been revising for a month. Okay, so here we have something that started in the past up till a short time, okay, in the present or now. So we can say that this one is correct. Okay, so no problem with that. The next one says, B, they finished making Reem's dress a week before the wedding. So they had made it for over a month. Now, remember here when we talked about that tense, we said when we have time for over a month, we need to say that the action took some time or continued as we have here in the past. So we need to change that verb had made into the past perfect continuous this time. So of course this is wrong. We're going to correct it. We say they finished making Reem's dress a week before the wedding. So this is okay. They had been making. So this is where we make the change. Had been making it for a month. The next sentence is C. I went to the hospital to see Fahd. He had been breaking his leg during a football match. Now notice here we have had been breaking. So is this correct or logical? Of course not. So the correction would be I went to the hospital to see Fahad. He had broken his leg because the action of breaking his leg is not continuous. It happened and finished one time in the past before another one, which is went here. So we say he had broken his leg during a football match. All right, so this one is past perfect simple. The next one says, D, everyone enjoyed the family celebrations. Amal had been making all the food herself. Okay, so here we have past perfect continuous. Is it correct? Of course not. So this one is incorrect. So we need to change it into past simple perfect. So we'd say everyone enjoyed the family celebrations. Amal had made, okay, all the food herself. The last sentence said, E, I received a letter from Tahini yesterday. She had been promising to write since last year, so of course, yes, this one is correct. Okay, so let's move on to revise together the structure such that or so that. So here it says using the cues, we have cues here, write sentences using such that or so that. We have an example here in A. So it says parachuting, dangerous sport, scared to try. So we need to make this into a sentence. So parachuting is such a dangerous sport that people are scared to try it. So here we have dangerous as an adjective and we have sport as a noun. So here we need to use, yes, such, and we use that after the noun, and then we complete the sentence. So the next one says, I scared and couldn't move. So we can say here we don't have a noun here, we have just an adjective, so it's better to use, of course, so. So we say, I was so scared that I couldn't move. All right, so we have so plus the adjective and then that. The next one, her room, mess, not find anything. This one here, yes, we use such. So we say her room is such a mess that she can't find anything. All right. The next one, D, he, strong man, lift a car. So here we have, again, like the first one, the example, we have an adjective and then a noun. So we have to use such here in this. He is such a strong man that he can lift a car. Now I want you to notice the structure. We have such and then a or an if it's a singular noun, and then strong, the adjective, and then man the noun, and then that, and then we'll continue the sentence with a complete sentence. He can lift a car, right? The last one we're going to do is E, computer complex, can't understand it. So here we have an adjective only, so we use so, of course. The computer is so complex that I can't understand it. So here we have so, and then the adjective, and then that, like the other example. All right. The next one is number 8, and this is self-evaluation. This uh, you can do it yourself, and then you can find the answer at the end of the book. So it says choose the correct phrasal verb, okay, with come. So here we're going to use all with come to complete these sentences. So it says A, when my brother came round or came up after his operation. Okay, we have here an operation. So it means he was unconscious for some time. So yes, which one we choose came round to mean that he woke up from the state he was in after the operation and he became conscious again. The second one says, why don't you come across or come over after school? we could go to the park. So you want something that means visit, and of course this is, yes, to come over means to visit. The next one says it was cloudy all morning, but in the afternoon the sun came across or came out here. I need something that means appear, so it is, yes, came out is the correct answer. The next one, D, I've lost my watch. Can you let me know if you come across or come over it? Of course, we're not going to use come over to mean visit. Here we have a lost watch, so yes, of course, come across. So here to find or to see by chance or by accident, it's not something that is meant. And the last one says, since I bought my new camera, the price has come down or come up by 50%. All right, so here I cannot decide yet, but when I read the last thing, I should have waited. So here is a regret. So the price means it went down and it became cheaper. So we have, yes, the verb come down to mean this. All right, that's all, dear students, for this lesson.